What is going on, everyone? My name is Andy. Welcome back to another FPL video. In this one, it's team selection time ahead of Game Week 6. So we're going to see how I did in Game Week 5, then look ahead to transfers and captaincy ahead of Game Week 6, where I've got 5 flagged players. So it's not looking great, but hopefully it'll be fine. If you do enjoy this video, do give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into it. Okay, so Game Week 5 was another pretty good week, right? I'm sure there's going to be a run of red arrows coming soon, but I'm into the top 100k. I'm really happy to be there already after just 5 game weeks, right? I think that's tracking ahead of where I was last year. And I know the points are kind of bunched together quite a bit. I'm sure there's some people that are only like 10 points behind me, that they're probably 100,000 places behind or something crazy like that. So I know the points are bunched together, but it's still nice to be in the top 100k already. That gives me a platform to kind of push on. And obviously we'll look at how we're going to do that in just a minute. In terms of Game Week 5, 71 points total. Sanchez and Veltman came in with 1 point. I was hoping they'd get a clean sheet against Leicester, but it didn't quite happen. Super happy with Tsimikas. So for those of you that watched the deadline stream, I got some info just before the deadline that possibly said that Tsimikas might start. It was enough for me to trust it, so I went ahead and played him. So that was really nice. Shame he got the yellow card. Shame he didn't get an attack and return. But we're not going to, we're not going to worry about 5 points. Leeds obviously conceded against Newcastle, frustrating, but it's Leeds. What did I expect, really? And Rafinha and Bamford both got attack and returns. And I think after that Friday night game, a lot of us were kind of looking at it thinking, right, is that enough points from that game? Like, Rafinha definitely could have had more. Bamford should have had a penalty. But the way the rest of the week went, that was actually not too bad. Ronaldo got 6 points as well. Salah captain, 12 points against Crystal Palace, who'd been playing pretty well, but still, they had to play Liverpool, and that's tough. So he came in. And I think my favourite moment of the week was definitely Sarr getting his brace against Norwich. And I know people will say he's not playing Norwich every week, but that was the whole point of bringing him in. He's now got another 2 good fixtures as well in a row. So I'm quite happy with him. It's a bit disappointing that Benrahma got 10 points because it meant the how good that transfer was kind of diminished a little bit, but I'm still 5 points up. But Benrahma has gone up in price again. So if I want to buy him back, he's going to cost me 0.3 million more than what I sold him for. So that's something to keep in mind. But still, I can't be annoyed at Sarr. He got 2 goals. He's got 2 good fixtures. Let's see what happens. Greenwood blanked, and I do think soon we're going to maybe start seeing a time when I have to look at getting rid of him. I'll talk about that in a minute. It's unfortunate because there was a chance when Ronaldo got the ball, he could have played a first time pass across to Greenwood. Greenwood have literally had an open goal from about 12 yards out, would have scored, would have been some points, but Ronaldo didn't make that pass. So it was annoying. I thought Greenwood played well, but he didn't get a huge amount of chances on goal. He should have had a goal though. That should have been a pass from Ronaldo. Ultimately though, pretty good week. Let's look at Game Week 6. Okay, so we'll start with the defence, and already you can see I've got 3 flagged players. Now, I'm not going to worry too much because Basuma and Ayling I'm hoping to bench anyway this week, and as always, these are just yellow flags, so they might be fine for the weekend. With Trent Alexander-Arnold, he was ill, right? And it sounded like they didn't make that decision until the morning, so it must have been quite close about whether he was going to play or not, or perhaps he was just too ill in the morning. But it wasn't COVID related or anything like that. The club have said that, or Klopp said that, someone did anyway. And so for next weekend, or for this weekend coming, I would hope that he'd be okay for that Brentford game, and I would hope that we would find out. If he misses this game, I possibly will sell him, right? Because again, I've got the wild card in hand, so at some point I can buy him back. And if he misses this game, that means in the next 4, he's got blank, Man City and Man United. The other game is Watford, so obviously I would like him for that, but over the span of 4 games, it's actually quite tricky if he's going to blank against Brentford. Now again, he'll probably be fine, but as this is a team selection video, I wanted to talk about it. Who would I go for? That's actually quite tricky because the 2 teams I probably want to target are Chelsea and Man City, and they're playing each other. So already, yes, they've got some nice fixtures to come, but if Liverpool are having to play Man City, then next week Man City have got to play Liverpool, of course, and this week they're playing Chelsea, so I probably wouldn't go for Cancelo or Diaz. So I might look at getting in a Chelsea defender 1 week early. I'm not saying I'll do that. Trent will hopefully be fine, and obviously I'm going to keep him for Brentford, but just in case he's out, I will consider selling him. I'm not saying I'll do it for definite, but if you look at that bench, it's not going to get me very far this week, because I don't think Tsimikas is going to start again. He started last night in the Cup. And obviously Ayling might not be fit, and plus he's not going to get many returns anyway. Elsewhere, look, I know people are getting frustrated with Luke Shaw, and look, Man United haven't been that great defensively. Like, I think Varane is brilliant, but he's not someone that can just make the whole defence just tick over and do really well. And they have been making mistakes. They have been letting attackers in. But I think with Villa at home and Everton at home, I'm not in any panic to sell him. We know he can get attack and returns. I'm sure there's going to be clean sheets to come anyway. And I'm not saying you have to keep him long term. I, like everybody else, else, I've got the Shaw to Chelsea defender thought on my mind, but right now I'm not really looking to do that over the next couple of weeks. So he stays. The only question for me really is between Sanchez and Foster. So Foster started last week. The Athletic reported that was because of an injury to Backman, but someone just told me earlier, I didn't even notice that Backman was on the bench. And Ben Foster did do a video where he said something like, "Look, unlucky Backman, you're a great keeper. You're going to have a great career," which kind of makes it sound like now Foster's number one. But I don't know if that's just because of the injury. But we saw last year when Foster lost his place in the Championship, Backman just came in and kept his place. So maybe now he'll stay. So there is a choice to be made then. Obviously, if he doesn't start, then hopefully Backman just plays the whole 90 minutes. So you could play Foster this week. I'm torn, because I think the better chance of a clean sheet is Brighton, and therefore I should go for Sanchez. But Palace have obviously been playing well, and if there's a chance that they're both going to concede, I would suspect that Foster will get more points, get more save points, basically. Sanchez doesn't really make a huge amount of saves because Brighton defence is quite good. So if they do concede, they don't give up too many other chances. So that's my main concern. I think Sanchez is better for clean sheet, so I should really play him. That's why he's in the team. But I think if they're going to concede, I think Foster will possibly come out with more points. So I might change there. Plus he's at home as well. Right, so I'm tempted to switch, but right now I've got Sanchez. But that does mean a double up with Veltman. So potentially that is one reason that will make me switch, so I don't have to have double Brighton defence again. But I think they'll do all right against Palace. I just wish the game was at home. So anyway, no defensive changes this week unless Trent's out, and then I might swap to Rudiger or Alonso or Reece James, basically a Chelsea defender. But otherwise, I'm going to stick to how it is. So we add in the midfield, we add in another yellow flag player, this time Rafinha. I should say, I'm not really concerned about any of them, but obviously the ones in my 11, Trent, Rafinha, and we're going to come on to Bamford in a minute. I think they'll probably all be okay. But it's interesting with Rafinha. Before the Newcastle game, there was a rumour that he had a thigh strain. And I think the club have said it was actually a hip issue, right? And that's what he's flagged for now. It's a hip injury. He did come off early. The fact that he played that game makes me think that it's not quite that bad and maybe they have to manage it, and possibly that early substitution was all pre-planned because they were drawing the game and he was playing really well in that game. He had a lot of space on that right-hand side and they still brought him off. So it sounded like they kind of had to do that. So it is one to keep an eye on. It's interesting that Leeds played in the Cup already last night, and before that happened, they put out a little news article on their website saying that Bamford and Ayling would miss the game because of injury and they were having rehabilitation, right? Now, they're probably going to be fine for Saturday, right? Or at least Bamford is. But there was no mention of Rafinha, but he still wasn't in the squad at all. So the fact they didn't mention him made me think, okay, that's quite good. But the squad they played was pretty threadbare, right? There wasn't too many kind of first choice players in there. Like I'm looking at it now. Meslier, of course, Firpo, Dallas, Phillips were a few. Click as well. Rodrigo's been in quite a few times. Then it was like Somerville, James, Roberts. I mean, James, I guess, has been playing instead of Harrison. So it wasn't a completely non-full strength side, but I expected to see Rafinha at least on the bench if he was fit. So maybe they're just giving some extra time off. We're obviously going to wait for press conferences. If he was out, I would again consider selling him. I don't really want to do it because I like Leeds fixtures, but again, I've got that wild card in the back of my mind. I've got it in my back pocket. I know I'm talking about wild cards a lot, but they're important, and until I use it, it's always going to be on my mind. So because I've got that I can use at any point, I would consider selling Rafinha as a short-term move, possibly to a West Ham attacker, either Bowen or Benrahma. It feels like a little bit clever to go for Bowen, even though I think he probably is the better option, just because Bowen started so well, his ownership's so high as well. But that's possibly a move I would do as well. So Trent to Chelsea defender or Rafinha to a West Ham attacker if he's out. If he's not, I want to keep him. I just don't really have the bench to be carrying these players. Elsewhere, I'm not looking to make a move on Greenwood, although if he starts tonight in the Cup for Man United, then I would be tempted just to move him on, because I think if he starts in the Cup, there's a chance that he misses out on the weekend, because McFred played against West Ham, and I'm not saying they'll both play against Villa, but they could do. Pogba played on the left, so then there is just that one spot on the right, and Sancho missed out. Now, if Sancho plays in the Cup, that will make me think that Greenwood's going to start, and he's obviously played so well this season. Like a lot of people, I don't agree that he'll be bench necessarily. If he plays tonight and Sancho doesn't, then that would kind of make me think that possibly he's going to. But my thought process is that Ollie will play Sancho in the Cup to give him some minutes and try and get up to speed, because he hasn't played that well so far. So again, I'm not really worried about most of my midfield. I'm probably going to keep them all. I think Sarr, yes, he's not going to score 2 goals every week. He's not going to play Norwich every week, but Newcastle and then Leeds are pretty good fixtures. So I'm happy with him. I know he's going to start. I know he's going to play 90 minutes. And I've got Salah against Brentford. Really good option, but as it stands, he's not my captain. So right now, my captaincy is on Ronaldo, and I think it's pretty close between them. They're both playing teams that I would be happy to target. I don't think that Villa or Brentford are necessarily going to be these really good defensive teams. I know some people are saying that Villa defence is looking good, and so is Brentford, but I think Man United and Liverpool are different tests, and I would definitely expect Liverpool to create plenty against Brentford, no matter how good they've been so far. Really, right now, the only thing that's kind of swaying me to Ronaldo is just that he's at home. If they were both away, I'd probably captain Salah. If they were both at home, I'd probably captain Salah. But in this case, when it's so close to call and I can't really make the decision, I'm probably just going to go for the guy that's playing at home. There's not much in it. If you said to me I'm captaining Salah, I'd be like, yeah, great captain this week. Nice choice. Well done. Let's see what happens. And it could be one of those where one of them scores really highly, the other one blanks, and you feel like you've made a bad decision. But I just think we shouldn't worry too much about the outcome. It's all about the decision making. And I don't think you can go wrong captaining either of these players. I mean, arguably, maybe I should go for Salah because he's a midfielder, but I just think the home thing's going to sway it to Ronaldo for me. My current plan, again, unless the wild card comes out, which maybe it'll have to if Bamford misses out as well, but I'll talk about him in a minute, is still to sell Ronaldo to Lukaku. I'm sort of coming around to the idea of 3 premium players because I think you can make an okay squad with it. But right now, if I still want like Bamford, Antonio, Jimenez and players like that, it's then very difficult to fit in Lukaku as well and play in a 3-4-3 and get a couple of Chelsea defenders as well. Like, it makes it a lot more difficult. But what I will say, the fact that Sarr looks good, Rafinha looks good, people have still got Benrahma, he's doing really well. That's a lot of cheap midfielders that are doing just fine, right? And probably better than the same price forwards, although Tony could be an option in the future. And that does make it a little bit easier to go to the 3 premium. So I'm not completely against it, but I do know that after Everton, I'm not going to captain Ronaldo for quite a while. And I'm going to talk about Ronaldo a bit more in the preview because I know people are talking about how he's fixture proof and stuff like that. But I just think games against Leicester, which isn't too bad, but then Liverpool, Spurs, Man City, Chelsea, all to come before Game Week 13, they're not fixtures that I want to captain him in. So it doesn't mean I have to sell him, but his value is lessened for me because I'm not going to captain him. So my plan is still to move him on to Lukaku, but I don't need to do that in Game Week 7 because I think Ronaldo against Everton is just as good as Lukaku against Southampton. And I probably will captain Ronaldo again next week because Salah is playing Man City. So he's staying, but right now the plan is still to sell him to Lukaku, but probably not until Game Week 8. That's probably when I'll do it. But even then, Ronaldo's playing Leicester and I think Lukaku's playing Brentford away. So I probably will move to Lukaku. But really, I'm not worried about doing it until Game Week 9. So I'm keeping my options open. I think that's important. I've got an open mind. I'm ready to be persuaded that 3 premiums is good. I'm ready to be persuaded that Ronaldo needs to be sold to Lukaku in Game Week 8. But if I can't do it and something else comes up, I'll happily postpone that move. Elsewhere, Antonio's looking great this week because Leeds are really suffering. I've seen a few predicted lineups that think it'll be, I think, Cooper and Phillips in defence. Now, Phillips is a really good player, but obviously that's not where he usually plays. So it is a bit of a makeshift already. Plus, then he's being taken out of midfield as well. Leeds have got problems, real big problems in defence. Like, anyway, even when they've got a whole fit squad, they're still not that great in defence, and now they've got a bunch of injuries as well. You could make an argument for captain Antonio. I'll tell you right now, I'm probably not going to do it. It's going to be Salah or Ronaldo. I can see the argument, but I'm just glad that he's had his rest. We'll have to see what happens in midweek because West Ham have got a cup game as well. Let's see how many minutes he gets. Let's see if he comes through without any injuries. But he looks great for this week, so I'm glad to have him. Then obviously we know he's got Brentford at home week after, which is the same fixture as Benrahma, who also is looking really good. And then Bamford's yellow flag. Now, before the article came out on Leeds that he had an ankle issue, the rumours started that he'd been at an event, and at that event he said that he wouldn't be ready for the cup, but that he'd be fine for West Ham. So again, he's yellow flag, but he's probably going to be okay. So I'm not too worried. If Trent, Rafinha and Bamford were out, I would possibly consider using a wild card, but because the rest of the team is fine, I'd probably just take a hit, like a -4, and just bench one of them and hope that someone like Basuma, Ailing or Simicast plays. And if not, maybe just even play with 10 men. And again, it's not to try and not use the wildcard, but I don't think those three are big enough issues for me to hit it. Because if they're all going to then be back the week after, possibly I'd want to keep them. So maybe I could sell Trent and then upgrade one of Rafinha, Bamford, whatever it might be. But realistically, I think they're all going to be fine. So that's how the team is looking this week. Ronaldo's probably going to be the captain. I've got to be honest, it's looking good. I'm expecting some big points this week. So I did a bit of tinkering last week, and I think people kind of found it useful. So I'm not necessarily going to do this every week, but do let me know if you think this is a good way to kind of, add on to the end of the video when I talked about the team, just to kind of show my thought process. And let me know if you can see it okay. It looks quite small, but I think that's the best way I can show the website. So this is on Live FPL. So this is my team for this week. So it looks fine, right? I don't need to make a transfer as long as those flagged players are going to play. So that's one of the reasons I bought in Saar last week, because I knew this week I wouldn't have a transfer to make unless there was injuries. Now, possibly I'm going to get screwed by that, but that's just the way of FPL. So let's see what happens. And then we move on to game week 7. Now, this is kind of Lukaku week, right? We've been talking about this for ages. This is the Chelsea week. Now, already in my mind, I'm thinking ahead because I'm probably going to play Ailing over Veltman. Now, the one issue I've got with keeping Ronaldo is I only have 0.4 million in the bank. So I'd have 2 free transfers this week. And realistically, if you look at those fixtures, there's not really a massive amount to do. Okay, Sanchez is playing Arsenal, but I'm not going to make a goalie transfer. Trent and Salah are playing Man City. But if I'm not wildcarding soon, then I'm just going to keep them through this, because then it's Watford the week afterwards. And like I said, Man United against Everton, I've got no issues with having Shaw, Greenwood or Ronaldo. Now, if I sold Ronaldo for Lukaku, that would give me money to upgrade Ailing to a Chelsea defender. Now, I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to go for. I'm going to decide next week. If my plan is to get 2 Chelsea defenders soon, then I might even just go for Alonso or James first week, just because they're more attacking. But because I don't really want to sell Ronaldo before Everton, I don't have any money up to upgrade, but I've got to make a transfer. And I don't want to make like a bench transfer, like a Basuma to a different 4.5 or Veltman to a different 4.5, because I just don't think that's kind of good enough when I'm planning for this Chelsea fixture run. So I might actually sell Greenwood to Mason Mount next week, or Shaw to a Chelsea defender. And I don't really want to get rid of Shaw before Everton, but until I get Lukaku, I don't have that extra money. So next week I might do Luke Shaw out. Let's just say for Alonso for now, although it might be Reece James. I still, in my head, I can't get out of the fact that I just don't think Alonso is long-term nailed with Chilwell around. But let's just say I put Alonso in for game week 7. I just use 1 transfer. Let's hope that there's no injuries or anything like that, and I have to play Ailing one more time. Hopefully he's fit by then. Obviously, if he's not, then that kind of changes everything. And then we move to game week 8. So I'm only going to go for a few weeks, but this is how I'm thinking about it. Sanchez then has Norwich, so I don't mind playing him in that fixture. And even Ailing still has Southampton away, so it's not that bad. And obviously Man United have Leicester away, which again isn't too bad. But in this week I probably would sell Ronaldo for Lukaku. He's got Brentford away. I would say that's a slightly better fixture. I'll probably keep Saar, because after Liverpool he plays Everton and Southampton. Again, he's talisman. He's nailed 90 minutes. I'm absolutely fine with holding him for the Liverpool game. That then gives me 1.1 million, so I can upgrade Ailing to Rudiger. Now, money is tight. I'm not going to lie. So getting James instead of Alonso might be the play, because I've got 0 in the bank now. So I can afford these transfers now, but I can't if there's any price changes. But that then gives me Lukaku in place. It gives me my double defence. But it does mean with Greenwood, I've still got him, and I haven't really got anywhere to go with him. I've got no money to upgrade whatsoever. So then we move on to game week 9, and this is where things not become a problem. But obviously, I don't really want Greenwood too much longer. So I'd have to think about getting rid of him. And again, in game week 9, Wolves have Leicester, then Everton, then Palace, then West Ham, Norwich. Their fixture run's great. So I could go for like a Trincao or Traore, possibly. West Ham's fixtures get a little bit trickier from this point. So basically, the reason I go through this then is, am I okay with this team? And if not, what do I need to go back and change on my transfers? I honestly, I really think planning transfers like this is super helpful, because if I'm not happy with Greenwood, do I maybe want to get rid of him earlier and just not get the Chelsea double defence that early, or just not do it at all? Maybe I want to go for Mason Mount instead and possibly try and get a Man City defender rather than double Chelsea defenders. So that's all things to think about. But Lukaku is definitely coming in, because I will captain him in that Norwich fixture, and I'm probably going to get him in game week 8 for Ronaldo. and then we'll just go from there. But the current thought process is to get double Chelsea defence, one Chelsea attacker, and then try and figure out what to do with Greenwood. But I might bring that transfer forward and not get the Chelsea double defence so quickly, and maybe just go for Mason Mount. So let me know what you think about my team this week and my transfer plan. Should I be going for that double Chelsea defence? What do I do with Greenwood? Downgrading him to like a Ben Rama or a Bowen or someone like that would give me a lot more money to spend. It would make that Chelsea defence or that Man City defensive transfer a little bit easier. So maybe I need to give him a bit more consideration. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Give it a like and hit that subscribe button if you are new around here. I'll also leave links below to kind of my Twitch channel and my second YouTube channel as well, where I'm uploading content, and I'm going to be streaming some FIFA 22 today. I already have the full game, so check that out in the link. Link in the description below. I'll put it in there. And obviously, if you haven't checked out Patreon, make sure you do that as well. Again, links to all of that in the description below. Ram and new recruit since the last one. So if you want to see what's on offer there, if you want to get an extra Q&A every single week, if you want to join a monthly mini league, make sure you sign up for that. I'll leave it there. Check out tomorrow for the game week preview. We'll have captaincy on Friday. Plus, I'll probably do the 2000 managers video on Friday as well. And we'll have a deadline stream on Saturday just around the week off. Give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.